30-year-old lady conceived after ovulation induction. She underwent unremarkable findings in the antenatal scan up to 20 weeks done in another scan center revealing dichorionic diamniotic twins. After that, she came here for antenatal scans which were done 4 times from 24 weeks to 32 weeks. Please go through the images of the dichorionic diamniotic twins with the fetal biometry and the fetal growth curves. Please note that Doppler of the umbilical arteries in both the dichorionic diamniotic twins look very normal with very low resistant uteroplacental circulation on Doppler from 24 to 32 weeks. This was given as quiz through Google form. Out of so many participants, only one has described in detail with most of the possibilities. He is Dr. G. Pranesh, resident in Government Rajaji Hospital, Madurai in Tamil Nadu. He describes effective fetal weight of fit F2 is below the 10th percentile. In addition, the fetal biometry, the placental thickness and liquor of F2 were all lower in comparison with the F1. At 32 weeks, the above findings are compatible with the diagnosis of early onset selective fetal growth restriction. He also describes the presence of dichorionicity and the absence of fetal hydrops can confidently exclude twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome and twin reversal arterial perfusion causing growth discordance. And he also describes that normal fetal growth up to 20 weeks excludes superfetation or superfecundation. And then he describes the discordance in the placental size, liquor volume, and the fetal growth should suggest reduced nutrient vascular supply to the placenta from uterus, causing uteroplacental insufficiency, even though I mentioned that there is nothing there, but he had mentioned with resulting downstream effects. The other causes for selective FGR in Dcda gestation could be due to either abnormal uterine placental implantation like previa, or the placental implantation over fibroid, or placental crowding in twins. And second one is marginal or filamentous card insertion also can be a thought. The third, he was describing about the growth discordance due to inherent differences in genetic potential of the fetuses. And again he says gender, males being larger than females also can do that. And he describes which all show growth restricted anomalies on of the fetuses. That's great. He was perfect in his description in the possibilities. In initial 24 and 25 weeks scan, my thought was slightly different. One of the twins revealed appropriate growth curve with normal placental thickness and normal liquor volume, whereas the other smaller twins showed asymmetrically smaller fetus showing HCAC discrepancy with less thick placenta and less adequate liquor. I was thinking about triploidy due to the early IUGR pattern, and because the abdomen was 1 to 2 weeks smaller than the head circumference with less adequate liquor and no other detectable anomalies up to 24 weeks. So I thought I was thinking about the triploidy as a more probable diagnosis. In the quiz, I had given it as an easier case, but my antenatal diagnosis was different and the follow-up was mesmerizing, really. At 32 weeks, she had premature rupture of membranes in the twins were delivered by LSCS, and the larger twin weight was 1700 grams and the smaller twin weight was 700 grams. So that one is 1.7 kg and this one is 700 grams. Both of the twins were in NICU, and the larger twin was in room temperature within few days, and the smaller twin was kept in NICU for 2 weeks and was discharged in good condition. The neonatologist told that both the twins were doing very well with no genetic aberration. Then I started to review all the antenatal scans in the first trimester done outside in another center. So I had asked for the scans, and that revealed one fetus was correspondent to the LMP in the NT scan and in the anomaly scan, but the other fetus was 1 week less to the LMP in the NT scan and 2 weeks smaller at the anomaly scan. And again, importantly, viability scan at 6 weeks revealed only one embryo. Yeah, that's it. So even by our fetal growth charts, both the twins are showing appropriate growth curves in the larger and smaller twins, meaning that there is no fetal growth restriction at all. So with this, I can think about the probable differential diagnosis again, which has been described in detail by Dr. Pranesh. One is selective fetal growth restriction in one of the twins. The second one is chromosomal defect like triploidy. That's my thought after 2 scans. The third one is superfetation, which was mentioned by Dr. Pranesh but excluded that due to my misinformation of normalcy in both the twins till 20 weeks as I had not had the reports. It's the oral information given by the mother and the referring doctor. So now what's the final diagnosis? I think everybody would have thought of that by the discussion, and this has been already predicted by Dr. Prinesh. Excellent, and you're right. It's most likely superfetation, which is not very rare in the recent trend of stimulated fertilization. In this study, the smaller baby is also doing very well structurally and functionally after 45 days. I'd like to congratulate everyone for their efforts and please keep it up. Bye bye. Take care.